Okay, people, how you doing? This morning here in San Francisco on a very, very foggy morning. A little wind blowing, so we're trying to shelter you from the wind. So what I wanted to talk to you about today was two AI robots called Sophia and Amicus. These are two robots that humans have invented, and they're freestanding, free-thinking robots is the way they're putting it. In other words, they're not connected up to anything. They're just thinking on their own and being interviewed by interviewers of various types. I'll put some links down into the description area so you can watch these robots and just be amazed at how AI is changing so rapidly. And that it's no longer feasible to try and ignore it and hope it goes away. It's here to stay. And with here in San Francisco, where we have self-driving cars, which are teaching themselves how to drive, and they drive more and more like humans. I saw one the other day that sort of cut in front of a car real quickly, the way humans do. And that's not the way they used to drive just a few weeks ago. They were very cautious and slow. Now they're becoming faster and more daring. And so AI is coming on very, very quickly. And I think that it's necessary for each person to pay attention to AI and what is happening, because if you don't, it's going to creep up on you so fast that you won't even know what's happening. It's good to keep up on stuff so that things don't change on you all at once and you become shocked by it. There's different AI platforms now. There's basically three types, and one of them is ChatGPT, which is a kind of like a platform where you can type into it, but it's now becoming to where you could just talk into it and it will type back to you or even talk back to you. Now these two platforms are now able to talk to each other, and that's fascinating to watch as well. So hang on just a minute. Okay, and there's one other thing I wanted to talk to you about, was what's going on around the world with war and killing and murder. And we're seeing it between Palestine and Israel, and how Israel is now bringing all these tanks ready to go into Gaza. But I don't know where they're going to fit the tanks. Gaza's a city, a huge city full of very narrow streets, and a lot of the buildings have been bombed, so they're sitting in the streets, so there's nowhere for all these tanks to go. And why is Israel going after Gazans? Why don't they go after Hamas? Hamas is the ones that did all the horrific murder and killing. So I don't quite understand why they're going after the Gazan people and why Gaza is considered the enemy when it was Hamas that did it. We've seen this over and over through history, where one group will do something and another group gets blamed for it. Like when 9/11 happened, Iraq got blamed for 9/11, even though it was proven that 9/11 was done by the Saudi Arabia. But do you see any bombs falling in Saudi Arabia? No, they went after Iraq because it's just easier to go after a people that have no guns or weapons or anything and are pretty hopeless at trying to defend themselves from tanks, aircraft, and ocean-going vessels. It's just unbelievable what's happening around our world. And the reason I bring this up is because one of the questions that were asked of these robots is, what do you think that one of the best things that humans could do to improve things around the world? And they said, stop being so mean and vicious to each other. Right? So that, stop going, listen to what each other's saying and try and, be empathetic of what people are wanting And they're not wanting a lot. They're just wanting themselves to be left alone and live with their families and their pets and their homes without guns and bombs and all this horrificness that's going on around the world. The leadership of the world is so pathetic because humans keep putting in the worst leadership that they can possibly put in. And they make the most horrendous decisions I've ever seen. Why would you bring tanks into Gaza? I mean, where are you going to put them? What are you going to fire at? You've already told the Gazans to move north. Well, they move north and you bomb their convoys and kill innocent people. Where are we going with this? Well, time will only tell. There's not much people can do. A lot of governments are saying it's illegal to talk about positive stuff. They only want to hear how we're going to kill Gazans and we're going to, there's no such thing as a ceasefire and on and on. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So I appreciate all the comments, the ups, the new subscribers. Until next time.